Hello, Michael here, looking at Psalm 65 for meditation, specifically verse 1 for the exposition. And before we get to verse 1, I'd like to read the subject and division of the psalm. And it's written, David sings of the glory of God in his church, and in the fields of nature, here is the song both of grace and providence. It may be that he intended hereby to commemorate a remarkably plentiful harvest, or to compose a harvest hymn for all ages. It appears to have been written after violent rebellion had been quelled, Psalm 65:7, and foreign enemies had been subdued by signal victory, Psalm 65 verse 8. It is one of the most delightful hymns in any language. We shall view in Psalm 65 1-4 the way of approach to God. Then from verse 5 to 8 we shall see the Lord in answer to prayer performing wonders for which he is praised. And then from verse 9 to 13 we shall sing the special harvest song. So let's get to verse 1 that reads, Praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Zion, and unto thee shall the vow be performed. Reading that again. Praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Zion, and unto thee shall the vow be performed. And so Spurgeon exposits on that. Praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Zion. Though Babylon adores Antichrist, Zion remains faithful to her king. To him, and to him only, she brings her perpetual oblation of worship. Those who have seen in Zion the blood of sprinkling, and know themselves to belong to the church of the firstborn, can never think of her without presenting humble praise to Zion's God. His mercies are too numerous and precious to be forgotten. The praises of the saints wait for a signal from the divine Lord, and when he shows his face, they burst forth at once. Like a company of musicians gathered to welcome and honor a prince who wait till he makes his appearance, so do we reserve our best praises till the Lord reveals himself in the assembly of his saints. And indeed, till he shall descend from heaven in the day of his appearing. Praise also waits like a servant or a courtier in the royal halls. Gratitude is humble and obedient. Praise attends the Lord's pleasure and continues to bless him, whether he shows tokens of present favor or no. She is not soon wearied, but all through the night she sings on in sure hope that the morning cometh. We shall continue to wait on, turning our harps amid the tears of earth. But oh, what harmonies will those be which we will pour forth, when the home bringing is come, and the King shall appear in his glory. The passage may be rendered, Praise is silent for thee. It is calm, peaceful, and ready to adore thee in quietness. Or it may mean, Our praise is but silence compared with thy deservings, O God. Or in solemn silence we worship thee, because our praise cannot be uttered. Accept therefore our silence as praise, or we are so engrossed in thy praise that to all other things we are dumb. We have no tongue for anything but thee. Perhaps the poet best expressed the thought of the psalmist when he said, A sacred reverence checks our songs, and praise sits silent on our tongues. Certainly when the soul is most filled with adoring awe, she is least content with her own expressions, and feels most deeply how inadequate are all mortal songs to proclaim the divine goodness. A church bowed in silent adoration by a profound sense of divine mercy, would certainly offer more real praise than the sweetest voices aided by pipes and strings. Yet, vocal music is not to be neglected, for this sacred hymn was meant to be sung. It is well before singing to have the soul placed in a waiting attitude, and to be humbly conscious that our best praise is but silence compared with Jehovah's glory. And unto thee shall the vow be performed. Perhaps a special vow made during a season of drought and political danger. Nations and churches must be honest and prompt in redeeming their promises to the Lord, who cannot be mocked with impunity. So too must individuals. We are not to forget our vows or to redeem them to be seen of men. Unto God alone must they be performed, with a single eye to his acceptance. Believers are all under covenant, which they made at conversion, and have renewed upon being baptized, joining the church, and coming to the table, and some of them are under special pledges which they entered into under peculiar circumstances. These are to be piously and punctually fulfilled. We ought to be very deliberate in promising and very punctilious in performing. A vow unkept will burn the conscience like a hot iron. Vows of service, of donation, of praise, or whatever they may be, are no trifles, and in the day of grateful praise they should, without fail, be fulfilled to the utmost of our power. Yes, we must honor our contract, our part of the contract, to do as we promised. For surely the Lord is punctual and faithful to every word. Well, trust you enjoy the meditation. The exposition on verse 1 of Psalm 65. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.